Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. How are you doing today? So first and foremost, happy Mabon. We are in the season of autumn. I love this season. I love this time of year. I love all phases of the earth. I just get really excited when it's a new phase. It's probably one of my favorite things as a witch to celebrate is the different phases of the earth for sure. So as you saw in the beginning of this video, I made some magical oils. The first oil I made was with some mint and some lavender that I grew myself. The carrier oil that I used is sesame seed oil. I've never used sesame seed oil as a carrier oil before. We'll see how it goes. I was just curious and wanted to try. Sesame seed oil, if you're not very familiar with it or haven't worked with it much, it has a very strong smell. I'm hoping that after these are done kind of like sitting in there and soaking and setting, that sesame seed smell will kind of go to the wayside and the lavender and mint will kind of be the more potent, powerful smell. If not, that's okay. Sesame seed oil still smells really good, so it's not too much of a loss. I also made this one I'm very excited about. This is my super magical Mabon oil or autumn oil. I made it with some dried goldenrod. So if you're not familiar with goldenrod, I can put like a little picture right here or something. It's a really beautiful, what most people consider a weed. It's just a wild plant that grows and it blooms in the late summer and early fall. I live here in Indiana where literally there's fields and fields of it. I'm not sure if it's only consistent in the Midwest or if it's everywhere. Yeah, if you're a witch and you do any kind of green witchcraft, I'm sure you're already familiar with goldenrod, but it's really prevalent this time of year. In the beginning of fall, that's when it blooms and when it grows very abundantly. I also put sunflower seeds in here that have my wishes in it. I do believe that sunflower seeds kind of help grant your wishes. So I put that in there and the goldenrod, and I used olive oil as the carrier oil. I think this will be ready just in time for Samhain. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use it yet, but I am still very excited to use it. So what did you do for Mabon, or what are you doing this week for Mabon? Technically last night was actually Mabon. Today is Tuesday as I'm recording this. Yesterday was the autumn equinox, or Mabon. I personally made a homemade soup, first homemade soup of the year, and I used my own homegrown herbs. It was lovely. It was such a good way to celebrate. And just enjoyed the autumn colors I had put on my altar and enjoyed the rain. It was raining yesterday, it's raining again today. I just love this time of year. It's just like a drastic change from what it was even just a few weeks ago. Here in Indiana in late summer, it gets so hot. It's finally starting to get to like the 50s here. It's raining, leaves are barely just starting to change, and it's very exciting and super comforting and very cozy. So did you guys see the harvest moon? That was the night before Mabon, or the autumn equinox. What's your favorite moon phase? I'm curious. Let me know down below what your favorite moon phase is. I personally love new moons. I think it's such a great way to start over. I think it's a great way to plant new intentions. But the full moon does have a special place in my heart, especially this full moon, since it was right before the autumn equinox. I used this month's full moon to manifest being more loving and being more tolerant, right? As we get into this time of year, things really slow down. Darkness comes over us. The sun god kind of tucks away for the year. And I really feel like it's a good time of year to really take upon the mood of the season and do some shadow work. And I've already really been doing that. And what I've really found about myself is, well, I'll dive more into that here in a few minutes, but I really needed to manifest being more loving and tolerant of other people. So I always make some moon water, and I infused my intention into the water by meditating with a bay leaf. I talked about this and how I work with the moon phases in one of my other videos, and also how I manifest. So I put that bay leaf that I meditated with, I put it into the water, and that infused the water with my intention, and then I charge it under the full moon, and it's worked so wonderfully. In fact, this is what I'm drinking right now is full moon tea. I love to drink my moon water. I feel like I'm drinking my own magic. I feel like it's just like this immediate, great way to fully harvest your manifestations or your intentions. It goes right into you, and I can really feel my own magic. I love it so much. I also took advantage of this full moon and made my own little witch's sachet. So in this little sachet, this is also a sachet to be more loving and tolerant. And I put rose quartz, like chunks of rose quartz in here. I put some dried rose petals. I put just a little bit of jasmine because jasmine can be a very powerful plant to use for love spells, so I didn't want to use too much. And I also put some rose leaves and thorns in here to kind of protect me so it's not too much love. I don't get too hung up on it. Oh, Flappy wants to say hello. Hi, Bubby. This is my familiar. He loves to be involved. All right, you might just get a little shot of, okay, there he goes. I put some rose thorns in here to kind of protect me from not too much love and not too much tolerance, because I like to stick to what I believe in as well. It's just a good balance. So I threw those in there. And I've been putting this in my bag, and it's been helping a lot. I do put it in this little box because the thorns sometimes poke through, and I just keep it in this little box, and I put this little box in my bag. So that kind of leads me into what I really wanted to talk about today. And you're gonna have to forgive me. This is gonna be yet another, maybe possibly a little rambly video. It's also gonna be very raw and open again. Like I said, as the earth slows down and it goes into the darker season, I too am slowing down and looking more into my shadow self and what I need to work on. And I think as we approach this slower, darker time of the year, it really makes me think and realize what I've learned over the past year and what I still need to work on, or rather how I can apply what I've learned more effectively. It really encourages me this time of year to use more introspection. What I've really learned this year, with everything going on in the world especially, I have so many people in my life that I love dearly and that I hold really close to my heart. And a lot of these people, not all of them, but a lot of these people have very different points of view on certain things from me. What I've really been struggling with is sticking to what I believe in while also accepting and embracing others and what they believe in, without feeling like I'm ignoring part of my identity. I also am not gonna lie, I definitely sometimes feel pressure from even my side to be angry about certain things, be angry about other people's point of views. And I'm just so tired. I'm just so exhausted and tired from being angry. I think it can be really easy to, especially when we're living in the world we live in now, that's just so chaotic and it's intense and there's so much going on and there's people dying. Everyone is going to have very intense, different opinions to go along with it. Me getting angry doesn't change anything. And I think for my own peace of mind, I really need to learn that no one is forcing them to believe what they believe. they have chosen that because they believe it's what's right. Accepting that, even if you don't agree with that, will ultimately lead to more open-mindedness and more change. I feel like the more we argue, the more people become angry, the more people become offended, the more people become even more closed-minded to the other side, or other viewpoints rather. There's not just two sides, right? Not much gets done when we argue. I really truly think that the more we love each other and the more we accept each other for who we are and what we believe in, there's going to be more collaboration. There's going to be more time spent on constructive things rather than being distracted by your feelings being hurt, or trying to convince someone of something, or trying to be the right one, you know? And it can be really hard. It can be really, really hard when you so strongly believe in something and you believe that it's going to be the way to save humanity, or it's going to be the way to save the world, and someone else believes something completely different. When you believe in something so strongly, it can be really hard to accept that other people believe there's other ways to save the world, you know? And I'm someone personally who feels my feelings so strongly. I can be an extremely emotional person. I've been working on that with balance. I've talked about that. And I think I'm someone who feels so strongly about my morals and my values, and I get heated, and then I also feel intensely guilty after I get heated, right? So overall, it's just an extremely unhealthy thing. It's very unhealthy. It doesn't feel good, you know? The anger, the sadness, and then the guilt, it all felt so intensely. And feeling those feelings several days out of the week, every week for the past year and a half has just been, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure there's other people who can relate. I'm exhausted. So I'm really going to start working on being more loving and being more tolerant. That doesn't mean I have to agree with everything. But instead of approaching things with anger and with frustration and with feeling like I can't control it, so I get mad, I'm going to try to approach things with love. Because I really do think that, like I said, ultimately more things just get done that way, you know? And it's better for me. It's better for me. It feels better. That being said, I've also learned something else this year. Some people you can disagree with and still handle your disagreements with love, right? Absolutely. There are some people who show up in your life and it's beyond disagreement. It's beyond that. There are people who show up in your life and just suck everything you have out of you. I'm someone who used to give and give and give until I had nothing left to give for myself. I had nothing left to give for my husband, and I just couldn't afford that anymore. I couldn't do that to myself anymore. I couldn't do that to my husband anymore. So I've also learned how to cut people out of my life. Before learning how to be more loving and tolerant and knowing my boundaries and when to cut people out, I would just put up with those people And I wouldn't use love and tolerance. I would try, but they were such toxic people that, again, I would just give everything I had because for some reason I felt obligated, and then I had nothing. It's hard to explain. Balance, 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 balance. Love and tolerance, but also setting boundaries is something I'm learning this year. And cutting people out of my life has been something I've learned to do the hard way, unfortunately. But ultimately, I cut them out of my life because of love. It's for the best for them, and it's for the best for me. It was really, really hard. Because like I said, I used to just give and give and give and give and give. I'm not used to, just cutting that off. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and show you guys my magical oils. Wish everyone a happy Mabon. And let you know what kind of shadow work I'm going to be working on this Mabon and into Yule too as well, when we're in the dark parts of the year. So let me know what kind of shadow work you're planning on working on or already are working on, or maybe you work on shadow work all year round. I do too, but it's just really focused on this time of year. So let me know down below. Do you work on shadow work this time of year? Do you look inwardly this time of year? Use introspection a lot? I'm curious. I hope this wasn't too all over the place. I hope this wasn't too negative. If you can relate to anything I say, please let me know down below. And until next time, guys, I hope you stay very well. Thank you. Bye.